And finally, some of these, like the two I've shown you, the USB ones, have audio inputs right on them. And for that, you're not going to really need to worry about what kind of sound card you have, unless, of course, you want to record via a mic and get the game audio or whatever audio in the background as you speak. Yeah, generally the USB ones have the audio built in and the PCI cards don't. So, if you decide to go the PCI route and you don't have audio, or even if you go the USB route and you don't have audio, what you'll need in your sound card is a line in. It's usually the pink or a blue colored 1/8 inch jack on the back of your computer. So coming out of your video switcher, you'll have standard RCA outs probably, and you'll need an 1/8 inch jack like this one, again from Radio Shack, my best friend, and this plug, and then this 1/8 inch jack goes into the back of your computer, the line in. Now, keep in mind, a microphone in and a line in are not the same thing. If you plug this into your microphone in, you're going to get a real ugly sound. It's going to be too loud, it's going to be overdriven, and it's just going to sound like not good. So, what you're going to need is a line in, not a mic in. Unless you just want to use a mic in the background. You could use a USB mic too, whatever. And you should be good. If your sound card does not have a line in, either just make sure you get a capture card with audio built in, or you'll have to get another sound card with a line in. And more recently, I've been doing kind of a dual audio record setup where I record on one computer the direct input from the game console, and on another computer I record a mic, and I mix those together in the video so I get both high quality game audio and high quality voiceover. And that you have to put it together in your editing software, and it can be a little bit complicated, but that's what I've been doing recently. So just trying to go over and explain what I've been doing to you guys, for those of you who specifically asked. And then for software, you're going to need, well, there's two ways you can do it. You can get a capture and editing software package. This is a program that'll do both your capturing and your editing together in one program. Usually these are a little bit more convenient because then you don't have to worry about compatibility of the video formats and stuff into your editor after you go and capture it. And some of these, like Pinnacle, I love Pinnacle, they're awesome. And some of these programs have versions that come with capture cards themselves, and usually these are the highest quality ones and just like the easiest to use. So if you want to go the easy route, find a capture card or editing software that comes with a capture card. Find them to package together. That's going to be your most compatible way to do this. And then the second way you can go about doing it is using a smaller, more compact program like AM Capture, which is what I'm using on that computer there, and a separate program for editing, although you're going to have more compatibility issues, but it definitely will be cheaper, because you can go ahead and edit in Windows Movie Maker and capture an AM Cap, which is pretty much free. It's not technically free, but search AM Capture torrent, you'll find it. So I'll just go over quickly some of the main names in capturing and editing software. The first, I've already mentioned, AM Cap, pretty much free program, will do you good. In fact, I would say that you should always have this program, even if you have one of the other ones. It's just that essential. It's infinite in its possibilities of testing and everything. You gotta go get it. The second company I have on here is Pinnacle. As I already mentioned, I really like the Pinnacle products. They're easy to use, generally quite compatible, except with Linux. That's the one beef I have with them. s-vid is another editing program. Adobe Premiere, that one costs a fortune, but you can download it from a torrent, I'm sure. Nero has editing software in their Creative Suite bundles, although Windows Movie Maker, I believe, has Capture built in. I've never used it, but so I don't know how it works, but I believe it does have it built in. Things like iMovie too are obviously gonna be quite compatible, hopefully. I don't know much about Macs. Forgive me. And there's just tons of programs out there. I'm sure there's obvious ones I'm missing even. So, if you have one you like, post it below. If you want to find something that I didn't mention, one of the others, just Google search video capture software. I'm sure there's millions of options out there for you. Now, one thing you're going to want to make sure that you get right before you start actually and seriously going about capturing your video for a purpose. One of the things you're really going to want to get down is your video formats. Now, there's two kinds of formats: capture formats and there's output formats. Now, some of them are the same, but basically capture formats are formats that are simple enough for your computer to encode in real time as it's receiving the video from your outputs. So these are formats like MPEG-1, MPEG-2, and AVI. Those are the main ones that you're going to run into. Now there's lots of different AVI codecs. Some of them are capture formats, some of them are not. You'll have to experiment with that or do some further research, because I usually just capture an MPEG-2. MPEG-2 is a licensed format though, so you might have some issues if you don't want to go about paying anything for software. So then you're probably going to have to go with AVI. AVI is a much bigger format, so just keep that in mind. MPEG-2 compression definitely beats out the AVI in general. Basically, for the format, you're just going to want to test a lot and see what works, edit with these formats, do all kinds of things with these formats, and figure out which one's best for you. There's no definitive answer. On a slower computer, I might recommend going with AVI files, because it's going to be a little bit more, that's going to make editing a little bit easier, because your computer, as you're playing back the files, won't have to do as much decompression as you're playing back the files, and it'll be easier on your processor. Whereas MPEG-2 is going to be a whole lot smaller, and actually a little bit higher quality than AVI in many cases. You're going to want to play around with resolutions. As I mentioned before, standard DVD resolution is 720 by 480, but 480 by 480 is also common. 320 by 480 is also common. You're just going to want to play around with it. Not all cards support all these resolutions, so just do what you can to figure out what your card supports and what is going to work best for you. And once you get something that you like and works, make sure you write down or put in a notepad document or something, a text file, what you use and what you like, so you don't have to do that every time, because I've been in a situation way too many times. It sucks. Things you're going to want to keep in mind with testing: the video, your video input select, first of all. These cards, a lot of them have both composite and S-video inputs. You're going to want to make sure that you select the right one, otherwise your video capture is not going to work to begin with. So that's the first thing you want to make sure, if your card's not working, that you have the right input selected and they actually have a signal going to it, because some of these, particularly the USB ones, won't work if there's not a signal going to them. So keep that in mind.